If you hate your brows, this video is for you. Hi, my friends. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a little bite-sized beauty tip video. We're focusing on brows today, hence the reason why I have everything done on my face except for the brows. I feel like brows are such a pain point for so many people, and for good reason, honestly. They can be very intimidating, especially if you're someone like me and you don't have a ton of like a natural guide or a lot of brow hairs to work with. Then it's kind of easy to not get the shape right. It's kind of easy to get overwhelmed. Sometimes it takes too much time if you don't know about a few tips and tricks. Now, I personally have whittled everything down for you guys, and what I figured I would do today is do one brow in a way that I see a lot of people doing their brows versus the way that these little tweaks will make this brow look so much better. Now, I will of course have some product recommendations for you guys, but this video is really about technique. I really want to dive into a little bit more technique here on my channel in bite-sized amounts, hence this video. Now, you probably have heard the phrase, brows frame the face. This is really true. When you think about it, brows are the only lines on the face. And when we use our brows, it helps us with our expressions, right? So doing your brows correctly is very key. And doing your brows incorrectly can really change not only how the rest of your makeup appears or how your facial structure appears, but it can also give you maybe some unwanted moods. You might look angry on accident depending on how you shape your brows. None of us want to look angry or surprised. None of us want to have block brows or Sharpie brows or brows without dimension. We just want to have brows that look natural. I feel like when people don't notice your brows, that's when you've done it right, if that makes sense. And I don't mean that in a, like they've disappeared and they don't notice it, okay? We want them to be there, we want them to be in the right place, and we want them to be done in a way where you can't tell what's been filled in, you know? I feel like that's when you have good makeup skills, when you've mastered your technique enough to make it look like and appear so natural so that nobody is like, oh wow, she filled in her brows. You know what I mean? They just are able to look at you and you're able to move about your day with confidence, knowing that your brows are not the first thing people are going to notice in a bad way. Brows can get really complicated, but listen, they don't have to be. In fact, they shouldn't be complicated, and that's why I'm here to help you guys. I definitely feel like I have credentials. Here are my credentials. I don't have any brows, so I've really had to learn the types of products and the techniques that have helped me feel the most confident and look the most natural when it comes to filling in my brows. So let's get to it. In my own experience in the past, and also when I've talked to friends and family, and even some of you guys, when it comes to brows can feel really daunting. And maybe you've tried doing your brows before and it didn't turn out the way you wanted to, so you've kind of just given up on really elevating your brows. And I'm here to tell you we don't have to give up, okay? And also, you're not alone. Brows can really be a tricky step in makeup, so we're gonna work through that together. I'm gonna walk you through this in real time, step by step, so that you can really learn alongside me. And I'm gonna be doing what I see a lot of people doing on one brow, and then I'm gonna show you the difference it makes to just make little tweaks on the other brow, so you can really see visually why brows are so important. And maybe you'll be able to see like, oh yeah, okay, that's what I feel like I'm seeing in my brows that I want to update or change. I feel like a lot of times I notice when I'm speaking to friends and family about makeup, a lot of people know what they don't like more than they know what they do like or what's working when it comes to makeup. So that's why I feel like it's going to be helpful to show you some of the things that aren't working that you might not know, because it's not going to be dramatic. You know what I mean? It's going to be probably familiar to some of you, hopefully familiar, so that you guys can use it as a guide to know where you want to improve and how I can help you be really confident with your brow application. So first things first, step one is we're going to want to kind of map out a general shape. If you skip this step, you're just kind of like guessing, and you're going to kind of guess off of the brow hairs that you have, perhaps. And you'll see if I did that, it's gonna give me a completely different shape than what I know I need to kind of craft over here on this eye. I guess pre-step also, I always love to take a spoolie and brush through my brows. This is my Revie Beauty Brow Pencil, but again, this video is not about the brow products necessarily as much as it is the techniques. So use whatever spoolie you have. I love when a brow pencil has a spoolie attached to it because I go back and forth. But you can get like little spoolies on Amazon if your brow pencil does not have a spoolie attached, and that's totally fine. So I'm just gonna brush up this brow first, leaving this brow where it's at so that you can kind of see as we go on the difference that it makes. If we were to go into this brow the way that I might have, you know, not knowing what I know now when it comes to brows, I would just kind of start following what shape I already have. So I would probably start coloring in a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and just starting to like fill in where my hairs naturally are. You'll notice it has like quite a stopping point here. Also, not very much thickness at the bottom, but this is what I would do if I were to just kind of like sketch in my natural brow hairs. Okay, right? Without brushing through either. Here's what I do on the other brow, and here's what I encourage you to do. You're gonna map out the brows. You're gonna take your brow pencil and you're gonna press it into your nose here to kind of make a little mark on where it should start. I see a lot of people, I feel like we learned this, you know, years ago, and I see a lot of people going off of the edge of the nostril and then stopping it here, which is kind of where my natural brow hairs end. So if you were to fill that in or pluck around this and kind of get rid of that, you're gonna have a brow that's moved way too far over, and it's actually going to create the illusion of a wider bridge of your nose as well. So it's important to kind of map that out, pressing it into your nostril for the inside of the brow. I think maybe we were all a little bit scared of bringing our brows too close together, but actually I feel like I see more often than not brows that are too far apart. So you can see, like, this is just me kind of like, you know, following what I see and what I might do or what I might have done prior to knowing these other tips and tricks. Second, you're going to take your pencil through the center of your nose. You're going to look into a mirror and take it through the center of your eye, so right through the pupil, and that's where the highest point should go. So you can leave another little mark. Now this works with any type of brow filling product. You can use a pencil, you can use a pomade, you can use a pen, whatever. Eventually you'll probably get to a point where you can hopefully fill things in without mapping it out, but it's really good to do this for a while until you get the hang of where things should be on your face. Next, you're going to take your pencil from the edge of the nose to the edge of the eye, and this is where the end of your brow should be. I notice quite often that the end of the brow is too short as well. So the whole brow is usually too short for people's faces. If you're just following where your brow hairs naturally are, it's easy to do that, right? So now I'm gonna start by filling in the edge of the brow. And I'm taking really, really light strokes. It helps to have a little bit of like a micro fine pencil. This is my personal favorite. I've tried so many brow pencils, you guys, and this is obviously my holy grail, but you can use whatever you've got. Use a super light hand, okay? I am barely touching my skin. Like, I wish I could show you guys how gentle I'm actually being. And we're gonna kind of connect the dots here. So I'm just gonna take this underneath the brow as well. And I always like to take my spoolie and kind of brush through as I go. This allows it to look a little bit more like it's coming from underneath, like it's coming from beneath the hairs, so that it gives a really natural illusion. I'm also kind of tilting the brow pencil to create really nice hair-like strokes. Versus on this side, I was just kind of like sketching still, right? I wasn't going in crazy because I don't feel like a lot of people do that, but I was going more head on and using more pressure, and you can see how it's the same brow pencil, but this looks so much deeper than this one already. For the inner part of the brow, I like to go really slow and literally just start to flick the pencil like this to create little baby hairs. I feel like this is a huge step to making your brows look as natural as possible, trying to keep some of that natural texture in there. I also like to kind of round things out at the top here. Again, alternating back and forth between filling in the brow and the spoolie. It's always easier to start with a lighter hand, and then you can kind of step back and fill in areas that you want more depth. Typically, I find that it's a safer bet to use more depth on the outside of the brow versus here. If you use too much depth here, it's gonna pull the eye down. So in general, try to keep a lighter hand toward the inner part of the brow versus the outside. I feel like if you accidentally get a little more precise, or you have a little more like pigment on the outer part of the brow, it still looks natural. All right, we're gonna brush through that with the spoolie, and hopefully you guys can see the difference. I almost went to brush this up, it's just so habitual. You can see that this is not a bad looking brow, right? You probably wouldn't notice too much of a difference if you saw me walking out and about like this. However, when you look at this side, I feel like it's so much more lifelike, and lengthening the brow as well kind of lifts the face. Are we seeing what I'm seeing? Okay. I also wanted to share a little trick that I learned in a Makeup by Mario masterclass when he was doing brows, and I thought it was so fascinating. When it comes to highlighting the brow bone, because you know, when we're doing eyeshadow, we always talk about like, oh, we're gonna highlight the brow bone, you know? He taught in the class, and I've done it ever since, you're gonna wanna take your highlighter right underneath just the highest point of the brow. If you take your highlighter all the way across, it's gonna drag the brow down. See? It totally does. Just keep that in mind as well. If you are highlighting underneath the brow, don't be taking it all the way to the tail of the brow, because then it highlights the downward look. Instead, keep it right underneath the very high point so that it stays underneath there and kind of lifts that area only. Kind of a fun little trick. All right, once you've got your shape down, one thing that I feel like is something that people don't prioritize a lot is brow gel. Brow gel helps to keep your brow hairs in place. You're gonna wanna find a brow gel that's not too thick or too thin. This one's really good. I like this one from Rare Beauty. And I'm just gonna feather this lightly, again with a light hand, kind of pushing the base of the brow hairs up. And then I always like to take my brow gel and kind of like chill out the top so it's not too spiky at the top. You know what I mean? And I'll show you what it looks like if you were to just kind of comb your brows in the same direction. It's just not going to give the same lifted effect. And this kind of also shows you how it looks if you were not to use a brow gel to lift everything. I also wanted to point out, when it comes to the center of the brows, keeping this a little bit softer is so much better than a harsh kind of like square. Let me kind of square this off a little bit more, because I feel like I see that quite a bit. If you make this front portion a little too square, that's what's going to give you the dreaded block brows, right? Keeping this lighter with a lighter hand helps it to lift the face and not give you such a harsh line there. And I'll even tone this down a little bit, because I feel like most people don't even go that dark, but it really makes a difference. Okay, try to imagine if I were to have started this brow where I started it. It would just give me a completely different look to my face. I would look slightly surprised, and this would be an example of something that you might not be able to put a finger on, right? Because maybe your brow hairs genuinely start there, and so you're just like, why is it not quite looking right? I feel like 9 times out of 10, even when I'm watching like TV, I notice that so many people's brows are not brought in close enough together. Again, you have to map this out based off of your own nose and shape of your face. Don't just go off of where your brow hairs are growing. I wish at this point that I could open up the questions to you guys, the audience, to see if I missed anything or to see if there's any other questions that you might have. I suppose that's what a comment section could be for. So if you have any more questions, please leave them in the comments down below. I would love to hear from you guys. But hopefully this helps you understand why you might not be liking how your brows are looking. I tried to make it in a way where it's not super dramatic, right? Like I didn't paint on my brows super thick, because I feel like most people know how to do their makeup. It's just these little tweaks and the light hand and the layering and the knowing where to place things that really helps things look normal and natural and like they belong to your face. Do you know what I'm saying? We don't want things to look unnatural, and sometimes when we just kind of go off of filling in where our brow hairs are, it can easily go in a direction that we never meant for it to go, and we just can't quite put a finger on why it's not working out, you know? I hope you guys enjoyed this bite-sized beauty tip video. Let me know in the comments down below what you would like to see next. I was definitely thinking of doing things around blush. We could do things around, you know, why you might not like your foundation. We can talk about why you feel like lipstick just doesn't look good on you. Or maybe it's lip liner that you're struggling with. Maybe it's eyeliner. Maybe it's even mascara. You guys, you tell me what you want to see next, and I'm going to be building up this playlist so that you can refer back to it whenever you need to, and hopefully help troubleshoot anything where you're like, why is it not looking quite right? I'm here to help you. Regardless, you've got this. Makeup just takes practice. So if there's something that you're not sure about, practice it right before you shower at night so that you can just wash it off if it doesn't go well. Keep practicing. Try thinking about it, slowing down, think through all these steps and see how it changes your makeup at the end of the day. I hope you guys found this helpful. I cannot wait to keep filming more of these, and I can't wait to read the comments as well. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a fabulous day wherever you are, and I will see you in my next video. Love you.